Време е сега и за панел дискусија во која ќе можете да слушнете и неколку различни мислења. Ќе го поканиме ние на сцена модераторот на оваа панел дискусија, уредникот на магазинот ЕС Adria, Damir Muharemović, а тој самиот ќе ви ги представи и ќе ги најави учесниците во оваа панел дискусија.
Now you can check out what Damir has for you, so clap your hands for our dear Damir, the host of the panel discussion.
Thank you, Fran. And you too. Hi, dear guests. I'm Damir, as Fran announced, editor of ANS Adria magazine. We've been in business for 15 years now, covering every single change in the market and reporting about new technologies and their implementation on the regional market. As you know, this summit is being held for the 5th time. For 4 years now, we have held panel discussions mostly about two topics: a regional market, its setbacks and moves forward, and global technology trends. However, this year we will have something different. I have prepared a topic about costs versus quality in security. So that's why I would like to invite my guests. There's 5 regional and international experts. Please join me at the stage. Uroš Kostandinović. Is Uroš here? Okay, you will get me. Okay, thanks. Then Slaven Crnković. Slaven is an export manager of a regional company, automatika, a distributor working in more than 10 countries at the moment. Hello to you too. Take the microphone, please. Kiril Lazarov, owner of the largest private security company in North Macedonia. Vigan Limani. Vigan Limani. Can somebody call Vigan, please? And Davide Boschetti, sales director from Videotech, who is not here also, which is strange. Okay, we'll...
A bit early, that's why. Yeah.
Yeah, is it?
Yes.
Oh, what's the time? Oh, it's 10 minutes. Oh, yeah.
We have 10 minutes.
Hello, Jonas, please. Can you just, hello, how are you? Can you just move to the front so they can see? Yeah. Is my... Please join us at the stage. Yeah, jednog.
So where do I sit here?
Yeah. We are waiting for Davide Boschetti from Videotech. Just if you can take a seat for a few minutes, maybe, so my colleagues can check where he is at the moment. In the meantime, everybody are okay? Have you prepared? That's good. It could be better, yeah, okay.
Are you okay now?
Yeah, why not? Okay. Mr. Boschetti, is it? Yeah. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, a bit. Just take a microphone, please. Take your microphone. Okay. Yeah, he's not, essentially. Hmm? Okay, then take a seat, please. You two will have to share the microphone, so yeah. Okay, thanks. I have prepared around 12 questions for two questions for each of you. So I would like to start with you, Mr. Boschetti, from the Idiotech. He is actually, Mr. Boschetti is a sales director from an Italian company, Videotech, a producer of video surveillance products and offers solutions. And the first question is, it's become somewhat a commonplace for businesses to make their purchase decisions based on price instead of high quality, which should be a top priority. Do you as a company feel affected by it? And what is your opinion about this matter?
Yeah. It's okay? Okay. Hello, everybody. So, yes, of course, we as Videotech, I think we, also with my colleagues, I think everybody has seen in the last years these trends for, price. There is a price pressure, and of course, I think we were affected, as everybody else in the security industry. And but this was also a good thing for our company and for the market itself, because gave us the need to think about something else, to change direction from what we have been doing since ever. So of course we were affected, and we changed our strategy thanks to that.
Can you explain that?
So yes, okay. Our company is not active in the, let's call it, the standard security video surveillance industry, but we are focused on some vertical markets. So very specific, like oil and gas, critical infrastructure, and marine industry. So particular places where cameras are used to for the security of important assets. So very important with a big value, or very critical. So somehow we are not in this field of the market where we are fighting for €1 difference, but also in these particular markets, of course, prices nowadays are important. So even in big projects, all the end users, big system integrators are concerned about prices. So we needed to change our strategy by not cutting prices, because it's not our policy, but on the other hand, by cutting cost. So we worked hard to cut the cost of some of our products, by searching for new methods, new methodologies of production, for example, and to make also the products easier to be used, easier to be installed, and to make life of our customer easier. So, yes. Of course, we were affected, and we changed a lot inside our company.
Yeah, so you adapted to the market. Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. Otherwise, you die very soon. Yeah, I think everybody here in this stage has the same experience, I believe.
Yeah, probably. That's why I would like to ask a similar question to Mr. Uroš from Bosch. Bosch offers a complete solution, security solution. Can you explain a bit more about that in terms of this lowering prices problem?
Of course. Hello, I would like to greet everyone here and to thank our host for the hospitality. So regarding the market, of course, there is always price pressure, and I think it has always been that way. The important thing is actually for the end users to explain the benefits of the quality which they are getting with their systems. This is very important, and it is our task to actually provide this information to the market. How are we dealing with it? And actually once that it is clear what is being bought, so all the benefits that customers are having with high quality equipment, is much easier to actually make the project goes. And also regarding Bosch, it is very important to emphasize that there is our strategy is to go with complete multi-domain solutions, as we like to say, to offer complete portfolio of all safety and security systems from us, so we are the vendor of it, and also provide all the interfaces for interconnecting of the systems and also for the third-party integration into our systems. So actually there are a lot of benefits which are for the end user, for using our equipment, and this is what actually needs to be emphasized in order to make a successful project.
Yes. As for you, Mr. Limani, you are doing business in mechanical security field. Can you share us experience from that area? You produce safes and cabinets.
Yeah, so hello everybody. I think I'm the only guy who comes from a more mechanical world here.
Yeah.
In this sense, there is, let's say, two approaches when it comes to the mechanical world, what we did. So the first issue regarding this, the prices, is that in the mechanical world, there is a bare minimum of functionality that is required. And our approach was to try and educate the client about the standards and the necessary requirements. It is very simple. If a panic bar doesn't work in the door, somebody might die. So this is the approach we took. The second approach when it comes to a means of protection is to find innovative solutions, to find new ways to protect. In the old days, it was always adding more steel or adding a new lock, or this was the approach. However, now we are pioneering new systems in this region, and through these ways we are developing a new concept of thinking. And also this is shifting us towards electronics and software, and as everybody else. So this is what we have done, and we have done successfully so far.
Yeah. What is the reaction from the market?
Well, it is good. I mean, we have let's say, very specific clients. Most of the clients we have are like high security demands, like banks or security companies. So it's very specific. But the feedback we got so far, it was good. And also what is interesting, the results we got, it was good. I'll take a very short example. We had this year in the region that we are covering a lot of attacks in ATMs with explosives, which was something new. Mm-hmm. And the first thinking was initially to, improve kiosks, improve like protection measures with guards and with, and then we did a lot of research and we came up with the IBNS solutions, which is it's a deterrent, it's not a protection method, it's a deterrent. Yes. And the results were immediate. So this is something that we did very recently, but this is not the only case in the time that we did business where we developed something new. So it's two sides. One is to try and educate and just to teach as much as we can, and the second side is to do something innovative, to replace the old ways by new ways.
Yes, yes. Can you pass the microphone to Slaven? Trying to do more research about this topic, I found that the British Security Association published a white paper about this matter. It is named The Real Price of Security Solutions, a white paper on the challenges of buying and selling high-quality security solutions. It was authored by Dr. Terence Tse, an associate professor of finance at ESCP Europe Business School. One of the key findings of that white paper was that end users would find it more beneficial to invest in high-quality solution because with the time it will do more good than bad. Do you feel that the same thing is happening in our regional market? Are end users paying more attention to high-quality solutions or the lows?
Well, hello to everybody. Well, it is very nice said, This is very nice saying, but there is always difference between theoretical things and practice,
Yeah.
We as a company, we are working in 11 markets in the region. Basically, we are focused in this eastern and southeastern part of Europe, where we have our own offices. And we are facing the problem exactly with this. We are always, as a company, we'll be focused on the quality, on benefits of the products, not only about the characteristics. And we always try to explain things. But it's always the matter of the client. Client is the one who is making the decision. And unfortunately, clients more and more are focused on price. This is something very dangerous, in my opinion, because if we put it like a sentence, there is a nuclear power plant to be protected. What is the cheapest solution to do that? I mean, this is completely wrong approach to the problem. So I think there are many reasons why this problem appears on the market. One of the biggest problem is education.
Yeah.
I think that people do not know what the technology is capable for, and they don't know what is there on the market, especially if they are connected, with some supplier who is not providing quality, who is not providing education, who is not providing added value. This is a big problem, also for all of us who are sitting here. And it's very nice. We are all going in this direction, but I think that education is the key of the problem.
Do you feel that with entering the European Union, things are changing a bit, at least, from your Croatian perspective and Slovenian?
Exactly. We are working in some countries which are already in European Union and in some countries which are not still. There is a difference, especially in following the standards and certification in some bigger projects. It's very good what happened there. But also this mentality of the doing business, it didn't change a lot. I mean, we all have this price focusing, we all are price sensitive, and this educational barrier what the customers have, it's still huge. And I think that you need to be very, very persistent to step forward in this.
Yeah, to explain a bit more about the consequences of
Exactly.
a bad
Yes,
solution.
I mean, educational chain, it's huge. I mean, it consists of many parts from the manufacturing point of view, from the beginning, and at the end, this is end user. And this is a whole chain of the people. And I think that if the people are not educated, we cannot expect that end user will be focused on quality. Of course, there are some exceptions. There are some clients that are really technologically advanced, but I think that this is only exceptions, unfortunately.
Yes. Mr. Kiril Lazarov, you provide security services both in physical and technical security area. Do you feel that it is hard to explain to end users that they should pay for a service for a security guard as much as they have to? Or do they too try to lower the prices? And how does it affect your business in terms of security guards? Do they leave with time? I know in each of the country, security guards are leaving those jobs. Fluctuation of workforce is huge.
Hello to everybody. Thank you for inviting me on this panel. I'm attending 4th year in a row. So the situation from the first year until now, it's not hugely changed.
Yeah.
The problems remain the same. So clients are always tied to something which is called budget. So in that budget, we need to provide them with the best services, with the best people, with the best equipment, which is impossible to do it. So in my company, for example, we developed a variety of services which are, let's say, more or less together when are working together, are giving the whole picture of the service that we are offering. For example, if some client wants to cut costs on the security and want to cut people, which is now trend here because of the lack of labor force and lack of people are going to Germany, to Switzerland, they're going out of the country, and we are facing the problem of lack of labor. So we must do some service which will cover this type of service. So we developed 3 or 4 services which are covering where is necessary, when we can do it, which are covering the type of physical security. For example, video monitoring is covered when some people need to be cut from the positions. We are covering with the 24 video surveillance online and the fast reaction of the patrols. Let's say it's less than 2 minutes reaction time. So this can be good compensation of the cutting costs when the client is needed. Secondly, we do a centralized monitoring of every employee, so we can follow their tasks and job obligations in real time from the monitoring center. So we are seeing that if the tour guard is not done or it's missed, we can call him and tell him to do this, not to heal the problem after that, but prevent of making the problem. And third thing is which is still more important, we are focused on selection of the people which will work. So the need of the market is very big for physical security because it's common thinking that is the easiest way. It's not the easiest way. It's the hardest way now at the moment to work with physical security, and that's why you need to cover with different type of services so you can get one solution which will be suitable for the client. The other problem in the technical security are doing the Chinese company. Almost all of them open branches here and start directly working with the several type of selling channels. At the end, you are going to the client and you see the similar offers and you're fighting for 1 or 2 euros, which is completely wrong approach, and we are solving this problem with more education, more training, more presentations, but it takes a lot of time and the results are not always as we want.
Yeah, as it should be, yeah. Mr. Boschetti, as you're a sales director, how do you persuade someone to take a high-quality solution?
So I think the key word to answer to your question is, as my colleagues here have also said, is education. We need to educate our customer to understand the value behind a proposal of products, we have to look at the long term of one project, for example, because, if you think only about money you spend for buying products or a solution, it's not the right approach at all, because above all in some specific project, I was saying before that we are, active in some niche market, like oil and gas, perimeter control and so on. It's very important to choose the right technology to solve issues, to prevent that something happens. I think everybody in the last days, has seen what happened. Was on the news all over the world. There was a big issue in Saudi Arabia. There was a drone attack to an oil refinery, very big ones. And the result of this is that the day after, the oil price changed, a lot. So everybody now is when you have to refill your car, you see the effect. So I'm wondering how also these big companies, multi-billion value company, they don't feel the necessity to secure their premises in the right way. So if they don't feel this necessity, I think that we need as manufacturing companies or sales guys to educate the customers. This is the only way to solve these issues.
Is there some way to change it via government regulations?
That's a big question mark.
Do you work with regional associations on this matter?
Yeah, but at the end of the day, of course, budget is one of the most important things they need to spend this budget they have as in the best way they can. So it's not always easy to have an influence on the decision process. We need to start, since the beginning with training people, explain them what are the benefits, what will be the benefit also in the long term, because we don't have to forget that a wrong installation could cause big issues after all.
Yeah, definitely. I will go back to Mr. Kiril. What is the real price of a bad solution? I mean, you work with a lot of people, and you have all of these cases of thefts and everything. What is the real price in terms of losing lives, maybe our assets? Maybe a few examples would be nice.
Our goal and what we are doing is to offer to the client sustainable solution at least for 2 or 3 years. So we're trying to predict what will happen in 2 years, in 3 years, so we can make a contract and fulfill the contract until the end. So the real price is the sustainable solution is the real price. I cannot tell you in the numbers, but the real price and the real goal is to achieve sustainable solution. Because if you are going to the meetings with the client, unproductive meetings every month, and speaking only of cutting costs or making something which will cut costs, first, it takes a lot of energy from the company, losing unnecessary time, and that's why before signing a contract, we need to be aware what we are offering and to be aware that that offer will last at least for 2 or 3 years for the services. So in the field of patrol, transportation of money, the things are more or less clear. We have softwares, we have people, we have armed vehicles, we have patrols, we have guns and everything. So it's easy to operate when you made this investment a few years ago. The problem is that without a systematic solution, we cannot decrease the prices which almost everybody is looking. So investments should go in the way of making systematic solutions, not to be focused on people or physical security. And that is, I think, the main risk which will come in a few years for salaries of the people, and how to increase the salaries and keep the people who wants to work. So we can increase the salaries only with the systematic solutions if are offered. We cannot do it by cutting 3% of the price or 5%. But systematic solution, training, we have internal academy in our company, which are trained people, which are people are prepared for different tasks, and in that way you can satisfy that employer and give him a more motivating salary and keep him in the country and in the company.
Yes, yes. Mr. Limani, can you give us an example of a bad security solution in practice, if you have had one?
I can give you many examples of bad security solutions, unfortunately.
Yes.
Well, I mean, I would say, I will not say anything in specific, but I would say something that is completely standalone, it's not integratable, and it's not upgradable, it's not good. It is true that, you know, we are always in a contradiction with, let's say, the security departments of the banks or our clients mainly are always in contradiction with the other part who is generating the profit for the clients. And it is very hard to explain that to get something out, you need to invest. Many times, this also is, let's say, a practice of economy of scale. If only one client applies a system, it will be more expensive than if all other clients apply the system. I think this is the case with physical security companies, with cash processing. So I would say that any security solution which is not upgradable, that is a bad solution. Also, there is smart ways on how to protect yourself. There is always implementing machines or just making smart decisions on dividing zones or integrating between two different equipment. Very simply, but this can be done. This is not something that requires a big investment. This is just smart thinking, smart planning. On my experience and on our experience generally, what we suffer mostly is that most of the clients don't have a strategy, let's say a short-term, mid-term, or long-term strategy on how they would develop. And decisions are taken completely arbitrarily depending on the events that happened recently or what you see in the market. This is a problem. If you develop a strategy to protect and to protect in general against, let's say, to fill all the holes that you have, this is, I think, the way to the future. We are helping clients to develop these strategies. We are helping, informing them what there is on the market, what can be done, what is practices from other markets. But this is not always a thing. Also, we have this problem with people moving away, so people changing positions all the time. Even like, this is a problem not only for us, it's for our clients as well. People are changing always, new strategies being done all the time, new ideas coming up all the time. And this is sort of disruptive for let's say, to implement something that is viable and good. I have seen many cases of bad security decisions. I have seen cases in some countries where in case of attacks, there was an increasing number of guns, like arming security guards. And in my opinion, that is a bad decision. Less guns is less violence, is always better. So moving towards a smart way to protect and not just the old physical way of adding guns and steel and more armored cars and higher level, I think centralizing the thinking, making planning, this is the way to the future.
Yes, thank you. That was a really good answer. Can you, from Bosch's perspective, maybe explain a few case studies you had in terms of this high quality is the best solution?
Yes, of course. So, first of all, I think that regarding the price versus quality debate, actually the very important thing is to consider total cost of ownership. So, actually it is important to consider not only the initial price of buying the goods, but also the complete costs and benefits throughout the life cycle of these goods and systems which are going to be implemented. And more often than not, it shows up that investing in higher quality equipment actually pays off when complete life cycle of this product is considered, and not only in regarding of saving maybe additional costs on unexpected downtime or on some breakages and so on, but also what we like to actually introduce and to let's say make our products also more accessible from the other aspects, so that also with our products we are trying to actually expand the usage not only on classic safety and security systems, but also on services which can from which the client can benefit, either by saving some costs on some other processes which they can eliminate, or by generating revenue with additional information which may come from these systems. So, for instance, we have services which can provide, of course, video surveillance, but also this video surveillance can provide our client the statistics about the usage of their retail or the traffic of people or vehicles through their facilities and so on. Also, some of these statistics can be used, for instance, in a case of a shopping mall. We can make the statistics from our analytics of the camera and to make a heat mapping of the traffic of people throughout the corridors, and then to actually justify the end user can then justify the traffic and the price of the renting of this particular shop. So there are also the services, and this is always expanding, the services which are benefiting the client. So this is the way how we should approach the market, and what we are trying to do is to actually get into the business case with the client, to discuss with them and to find the solution which would benefit their main scope of work.
Yes. And Slaven, our goal is not to sell technology, it is to help the client create value, said Simon Adcock, Chief Executive Officer of ATEC Fire and Security. What is your understanding of value, and can you offer it, or do you offer it to your customers?
Exactly. I think that the company who can offer the most value, this is the company who wins on the market. But connected with your previous question, what is the risk of bad solution and cheap solution? I don't know, maybe a few months ago, I was in Romania on one business trip, and I sat down on a meeting with my customer. We just entered to his office, and we were there like 1 hour, and he said, "Oh my God, I forgot to disarm the system." So he had a system which is completely blind. This is the risk of the system. So you put something, you install, you do the project, and after that, you did just because of some, regulations. You didn't invest into the real stuff. You didn't, at least, you didn't put any value into that. I mean, it is a huge problem. Value adding is something that our company does. This is our main goal. In these terms, in our offer, we have 4 lines of and not only products, but also solutions, also services, and also softwares that we can provide. So we add value also in the lowest segment of the market, where the price is unfortunately the most important driver. And we are, of course, adding some other value in the most demanding projects, where the price is not the only thing which wins, but also the benefits of the system. So I think that in these years of the of the huge competition of the market, there are a lot of companies who are not providing value. They are providing only the price, especially with these companies, huge world manufacturers who are flooding the market with a lot of distributors. I think that I agree with Kiril that this is very dangerous for the market because we have now a lot of companies who are doing only price. We are talking only about the price. What is the price for 2 megapixel camera? It's 15 euros. I can offer you 14.5 euros. If we are speaking in that way, I think that we are in a big problem. And I think that we need to change that.
Yeah, I think the main problem is probably on the end user. Or the decision maker, is it? I mean, he should decide in the end.
Exactly, end user is the one who decides at the end of the day. But I think that it's not his call. I think that company who presents the solution to the end user needs to, add value into his presentation. Because if you come to the meeting and your second sentence is the price, that means that probably you don't have enough knowledge to make a proper presentation of the equipment. First of all, we need to promote, we need to speak about the benefits of the system, advantages of the system, and at the end, of course, we need to mention the price. Because if you say something costs 100 euros to the end user, he doesn't know what is that. He believes that this is expensive. If you didn't explain what are the benefits of this 100 euros that he needs to invest, or 100,000 euros, of course, for the biggest projects.
Yes.
So we
and
need
you
to
do a lot on educating yourself and the customers.
Of course. We are always repeating that. This is not only in theory. I think that more education is helping not only for the manufacturer, distributor, installer, who is making more margins on equipment, it's also helping to the end user because he knows what is there on the market and he can use things, he can use features, he can follow the technology. Because technology is going very fast, as you know, and unfortunately market is not so fast because I think that there is a pretty big lack of education towards end users, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately. I hope that at least our magazine is contributing a bit to this.
For sure.
And thank you all for participating. It was a nice conversation. And I hope you all enjoyed. And see you at the next summit in Sarajevo then.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.